Hey you guys, so today I wanted to do an updated Q&A video. I like to do these about once a year just because I think they're fun. I know I did one a little while ago with Matt, but that was just for silly fucking shits and giggles, you know? So I have some questions from you guys that you asked me on Twitter and Instagram, and let's just jump right into this, shall we? So a ton of you guys have been asking me for updates on my skin journey. If you guys have been following me for a while, you'll know that I've been dealing with acne for the past couple of years. It's been a shitty balls kind of time. So recently I mentioned in another video, and I also talked about it on Instagram stories as well as Periscope a bunch. I went on medication for my acne. I'm just on minocycline. It's called minocycline. One of the two. It's just an antibiotic. I've been taking it for probably close to 3 weeks to a month, I would say. And I have noticed that I've had quite a reduction in my acne. I still do get spots from time to time. I have some over here right now that pop up, but I do find that they're a lot less painful. They seem to be a lot less deep under the skin, and they do heal quite quickly as well. I haven't noticed any side effects from the antibiotics. The first few weeks that I was taking them, I did notice that it made my tummy hurt a little, but it does seem to have subsided quite a bit. So it's going good. I have about 2 months left of my antibiotics, and I'll continue to update you guys if you're interested. And yeah, I've had a lot of you guys asking me how my transition moving into the house has been, if I've been enjoying it. I live in the suburbs now, and actually it's been good. I've been enjoying it more than I thought I would. I was pretty heartbroken about leaving downtown, but I've actually been enjoying it a lot. I just find that my day-to-day stuff, like doing errands, going to the gym, I haven't been going to the gym, who am I kidding? Day-to-day stuff, getting groceries, just running errands, crap like that is so much quicker living in the suburbs than it is downtown. It's so much less of a process, so I'm able to get a lot more done throughout the day, which is really nice. And we've just started settling in and, you know, making the house ours, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's fun. A ton of you guys are asking me questions about my exceedingly slow transition into eating plant-based. I've talked about this a little bit on Instagram stories, Periscope, and a tiny bit. I've just dipped my toes in the water telling you guys about it on YouTube. So for those of you that don't know, I've just been kind of slowly researching and transitioning into eating primarily plant-based. So a lot of you guys have been asking me about how that transition has been, and it's been A+. It's been good. I'm just really taking my time and enjoying, you know, switching over the foods that I eat and stuff like that. I eat almost 100% plant-based in my house now, except for the rare occasion when Matt sneaks in goat cheese, in which case I'm toast. I'm in there like a dirty fucking shirt. But other than that, I cook completely plant-based, and we've basically phased everything else out of the house. When I'm traveling, just out of pure ease and laziness, I do still eat not plant-based, but I'm sure that over time I will slowly start kind of like pushing that completely out of my diet if I feel like it. I've had a lot of you guys ask me if I'm planning on going completely like lifestyle vegan or completely cruelty-free or whatever. This is such a difficult thing, because the reality of it is that if I was strictly just a consumer and I wasn't a public figure, so to speak, I probably would be cruelty-free, and I probably would have an easier time going like fully like hardcore, freely fucking, not freely level. But the reality of the industry that I work in is that there are a lot of companies that are not cruelty-free, or they're owned by companies that aren't cruelty-free, and I find it really difficult to take a meaningful stance on that without getting a ridiculous amount of backlash. And the reality of the situation is that there's a lot of companies that are not cruelty-free that feed into my financial well-being. Luckily, I do think that our world in general is moving in a more cruelty-free direction. I do think that more and more countries are starting to implement laws against testing on animals and all that good stuff. I do really hope to see everything move in that direction. That would be so great, and I heavily applaud the brands that are moving in that direction and are moving towards, you know, vegan ingredients so that you can supply to more people and we can contribute less to all these nasty, negative things that go on within the beauty industry. However, for me right now in my life, it's just not super viable. But that said, I'm just making all the changes that I feel ready and comfortable to in my personal life. I've really been enjoying just sharing my journey, my experience, researching and transitioning and doing all that fun stuff with you guys. I think it's just been fun to kind of share that stuff with you. So if you guys are interested to talk more about that stuff, definitely let me know. I want to do the what I eat in a day videos, because they're my favorite videos. I just live vicariously through other people eating when I'm not currently eating, because that's all I ever want to be doing, ever. Someone said, for your Q&A, how do you determine what brands to work with / get that sweet ad coinage from? I feel like every time I turn around, some brand is getting clocked for being unprofessional, having a PR mishap, doing straight up racist, homophobic, dumb shit. Maybe that question is too complex, but I'm curious because people get paid, but I'm sure some want to be ethical about it. If that academic essay of a question is too much, what's your go-to coffee order? I don't drink coffee, so I'll answer your previous question. So for me, when it comes to working with a brand, I do have specific brands that I will not work with at all, just based off whatever it may be. If it's some kind of moral issue, if it's just that I don't like their products. So it varies. There's a few brands that I just flat out do not work with. And then once we move into the brands of realms that I'm willing to work with, if they reach out to me and they want to do a campaign together, typically I kind of flood through the request based on, am I allowed to talk like I normally would? Am I allowed to say any downsides about the products and stuff like that? More or less, I just want to maintain that kind of level of genuity that I have with you guys, and be able to essentially be myself. And if brands take any issue with that, then I typically will not continue to work with them. What is your favorite and least favorite mundane household chore? Thank you for these suburban questions. I appreciate the nod to my current living situation. Household chores that I hate. Let's start with that. Fucking laundry. Christ, for the love of God. I hate doing laundry with such an intense passion. It's unbelievable. Just cleaning in general, I'm not a huge fan of, unless I'm like really like in that type of mood that day. Household chores that I enjoy. I like cooking. I think I've like really taken to cooking, like very intensely, so much in that I'm going to completely make this channel obsolete and become a food blogger. Fuck you guys. It's weird how limiting it is once you've decided what your niche is on the internet, because like then, I mean, obviously people follow you for that reason. So for you to express other interests, people are like, yeah, we don't fucking care. But I want you to care. I want to make money making food and eating food for a living. I've dabbled with the idea of starting a secondary channel where I can just fucking talk about nothing but food. If you could only keep 2 of your plants, which would they be? Here's the thing about plants. I thought I was like, I have a green thumb. I have 2 green thumbs, in fact. I was like, I'm the best plant mom. I'm a plant magician, in fact. Everything thrived in my apartment. I realized I'm really not that good at taking care of plants. It's just that my apartment was so bright that everything grew like wildfire. And now my house that we live in now is quite a bit darker and everything is dying. It's me, Matt, 2 dogs, and just like a household of like fucking dead plants. So I'd get rid of fucking all of them. No, I'm gonna keep buying them. Oh my God, my cactus. Okay, wow. This is just literally becoming a story time video at this point where I'm just going on random fucking tangents. So Jamie Page was here recently, and she was like, oh, you should get a cactus. And then she pulled up all these inspo pics of rooms with cactuses in them. And I was like, yeah, you know what? A cactus is a great idea. So we go to the store, and it happens to be snowing in Vancouver, which like never happens. It just doesn't snow here. We go to the plant store, and I get this cactus. This cactus cost me $325 before tax, which is insane. It's a plant, okay? It's a plant. It's gonna sit in my house. It serves no purpose. Whatever. So I buy this ridiculously expensive cactus that's super tall and like really big and like it's good. Like it's a substantial cactus, okay? And when I'm leaving the plant store, there's like 3 people towing this cactus out on a thing, like with rollers, so that because I can't pick it up. And then they were like, oh, we'll put it in the bed of your truck. I was driving Matt's truck. They were like, we'll put it in the bed of your truck, which was covered with snow. So it was all fucking icy. And they were like, oh, should we tie it down? And I was like, no, it doesn't need to be tied down. I was like, it's so fucking heavy. There's 3 of you trying to lift this shit into my thing right now. It's fine. We don't need to do it. And the guy was like, I'm just going to take soil. I'm going to take these bags of soil and like kind of pad the cactus at the bottom so that like it's not going to fall over. And I was like, this is not necessary, but go hard. He does that. And this other chick's like comes out with some twine. She's like, I'm just going to wrap this up. I was like, guys, this is crazy. This is so unnecessary. This is fine. She fucking twines this shit. She's tying it up to the truck all crazy. And I'm like, don't worry about it. Me and Jamie get into the truck. I'm driving like 30 kilometers an hour, which is slow in American. We were in the car for all of 17 seconds. And I was like, Jamie, can you keep an eye on that cactus just to make sure? And I'm like dead set. I'm like, this shit's not falling over. She turned back to me for a millisecond and turned back and she was like, where's the cactus? And I turn around. There's no cactus in the bed of my truck anymore, or it's certainly not upright. So we've either A, knocked over the cactus within 17 seconds of driving, or B, it's on the fucking road, my $300 cactus. We unwrap the cactus when we get to my house because they put a garbage bag over it. It's like completely broken off, this one part. And then Matt, who was in a bad mood that day for whatever reason, can't remember, I was like, Matt, can you carry this cactus inside? And he was like super pissy about this. He picks up the cactus, walks through a doorway, and breaks off another arm. I broke off 2 parts of my $300 cactus within like 20 minutes of owning it. I'm the worst plant mom is what I'm trying to get at. So fuck plants now. Fuck them. Who's the messiest person I know? Me. No. Shaylin is really messy. But honestly, kind of Jamie. Jamie Page likes cleanliness, but she's kind of like a fucking on a war path. She uses so many things to do such minimal things, like to eat berries. Like if I was gonna eat a strawberry, I would just like open the thing and like eat a strawberry and fucking call it a day. Jamie will like have a bowl for the strawberries and then probably have like a fork with it. Like that to me is like handheld food, but just like, I'd probably say Shaylin first, me second, then Jamie Page. That's the realm of messiness. Are there any YouTuber influencers that you're just not a fan of or have not been what you were thinking when you met them? Or have been not what you were thinking when you've met them? Yes. There's a lot of influencers that I'm not like super huge a fan of. If you're part of this industry, you probably already know that. If you're part of my subscriber base, you probably already know that. Usually there's one of 2 scenarios. Either I knew I wouldn't like this person, I met them and I was right, or I thought I was gonna like this person because of their online persona and I met them and they were super different from that online persona. But that's kind of the reality of social media, is that you do paint a picture of whoever you want yourself to look like, which is good and bad. But you know, it's just people can be quite different in person, and it's not even necessarily that they're a shitty person sometimes. But it's more so just that it's not what you were expecting, because they kind of give you A and C and you fill in B with whatever the fuck you want it to be, kind of thing. And sometimes they're just different from that, which is completely fine. But sometimes they're just less likely to be somebody that you click with. Myself as a person, I really click with people who are genuine and say what they mean and act exactly like who they are, even if that doesn't mean that they're the most pleasant person on the planet. I really don't even care about that. I more so care that you're like a trustworthy, genuine person. And the majority of people doing YouTube are not that way. And they may be in their personal lives, but just not at events, which is unfortunately where I interact with these people exclusively. But I mean, it's just that's life. That's literally life. These people are my coworkers essentially, and there's going to be coworkers that you don't get along with, and you don't have to do your job well, which I don't do my job well. Someone said, what's the biggest goal at the top of your bucket list? I'd really like to build a house, like, that's my dream spot. I'd really like to do that one day. I would like to create a makeup line. I think that'd be really cool. Obviously, that's like every influencer's goals. I really want to make a worm compost. That's probably third on my list. Oh, I want to be like billionaire as well. But that's a slightly lower priority to me than the worm compost. Someone asked if there's a lot of PR trips I skip out on and why. I'm sure that I've talked about this before. I'm pretty sure that I have. I do pass on a lot of PR trips for a few different reasons. Number one, just naturally in my being, I am a homebody, like through and through. I love being at home. I like being able to get on a schedule somewhat. I like being around my dogs, my family. It's just, I thrive when I'm at home. The other thing is that as I mentioned before, there's few people in this world that I click with, and even fewer that I click with within this industry. So for me, I just don't oftentimes feel like it's worth it to go on this free trip that I'm having to work on with people that I don't necessarily want to be around. And that's not to say that I hate everyone that's invited. It's just more so that like I don't vibe with them. They're not like my best friends. So it's just kind of like I'm already uncomfortable being out of my house. I'm 10 times more uncomfortable being around people that I don't really click with. And then I'm working for free. Hi, I am Jordan. I just want to know, how old are you? From No Chill period Jordan Loveland. And his photo is a photo that says, you call it vacation, we call it home, with palm trees. Question for the Q&A, when do we get to see your new house? Never. I really feel super uncomfortable and weird doing house tours. I thought that the beauty room tour in my old apartment was cool, and I'm glad that I have that video. But I just feel like that is too much of my life in your hands. I like the aspect of being able to share certain parts of my life, but having certain parts maintained as private. And for me, my house is where I relax. It's where I live my life. It's where I, hang out with friends and see my dogs and cook dinner and, cry and fight and argue. And I just feel like to make my home accessible to a comment section is horrifying to me. My manager, Jess, said, who's your favorite person in the world? Brackets, me, period. End bracket. And that's true. Jess is actually one of my favorite people on the planet. She's hilarious and awesome. And she makes me money, so that's great. What makes me the happiest? Oh, a little bird outside. Nature. I feel very one with the earth when I am on a hike or a walk in the nature outdoors. I just like the smells of nature. I like the sounds of nature. I like the feel of nature. I like this view of nature. Everything about it. I'm pretty happy about it. And taste. Let's complete the rainbow of senses. I like the taste of nature as well. I really like relaxed time. I like just like relaxing, eating, cooking, chilling around the house, reading books, like taking baths. I'm very zen. And I hold my dog tightly, especially Arrow. The puppy, we'll get there. I'll use her as a emotional baggage tool eventually. But, I definitely squeeze Arrow with a tightness. And cry gently. What's a popular makeup trend you can't stand? What's a trend you wish would come back in style? Oh, I don't care. I really don't. It doesn't bother me that much, like different kinds of makeup and stuff like that. There's things that like I don't like doing on myself, but I think look really good on other people. I just generally just don't. It doesn't bother me. It really does not bother me. So none. All right, you guys, I think that's everything for me. I'm gonna go cook some broccoli. Guys, thank you so much for your questions. Thank you so much for watching this video, coming back to my channel, hanging out with me. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Let me know what you'd like to see next in the comments below. And peace out.